Hello, and welcome to this video. This is a little exploration. So I've started to learn astral projection, and so I just sort of want to start sort of before I've gotten into it that much, and just sort of start to record my experience learning it here. And so it might be of interest to you or something like that. So that's the purpose of this channel at the moment. And we'll see how it goes. So my background is I started doing mindfulness meditation a few years back, and that's been a really enjoyable part of my life and something I've enjoyed doing. And there's always been sort of an interest in learning sort of what astral projection was. So even though I didn't really know that was the name for it, I think there's just like an interest in, you hear about different shamanism stuff and things like that. And so I had this interest, and I didn't really know it was astral projection related, but especially after reading these series of books by this author, Carlos Castaneda, that made me pretty interested in it. And I'd sort of dabbled in astrology things and tarot related stuff, and I definitely found that to be helpful and interesting, but for some reason it didn't feel like real. It felt like I was having to go out on a limb to sort of believe the things I was getting from astrology and stuff like that. I just wanted more like firsthand experience, especially when, most of the time I'm not able to really like see where the stars are or see where planets are in constellations. So I think that might have been more meaningful to me if I had been able to look up in the night sky and learn from somebody about that. But anyways, so I had this interest, and how did I find it? I don't remember how I found it, but it was in the past few months or so. I came across this book called 90 Days to Astral Projection. What's the name? I don't quite remember the name of the book at the moment. The name of the book, it's by Robert Bruce. So if you look up Robert Bruce, he's the guy who wrote this book. And so I felt interested to start exploring it. Was still feeling skeptical a little bit of it, but interested in it. And we'll see, there's construction going on right outside the window, so if the sound is too bad, then I'll start recording in the bathroom. Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be kind of loud. Anyways, well, I'll wrap up this. That's the sound. Okay, it's at 4:30. We'll see. Okay. I think that's gonna be bad. So I'm gonna see how this. I'm gonna try and move it. Do. Sound will probably be better in here Let's see how this works. All right. Ooh, it's gonna be echoey. Well, this is sort of an experiment anyways. Sorry about that. Maybe that would be better. Yeah, maybe. I think that could work. Hui. Okay. Yeah, oh, this is kind of cool. Bathroom shot. Okay. And so I started going through this book and learning sort of the basics of astral projection, and I'm still going through it right now. But I've had different experiences while learning how to do it so far. Man, I'm gonna have trouble with this because it probably sounds like my shower's leaking, but I think there's a primary pipe that goes through here. Anyways, we'll see. And then yeah, so learning how to do the thing. Yep. Well, mind blank. So what's the thing? Oh yeah, so I was learning how to do these, learning how to do astral projection, and the first experience that I had was a feeling of, there's one experience that I vaguely remember where I was laying down doing sort of exercises to, basically the idea of astral projection is that it really sounds like it's leaking. The basic idea of astral projection is that you can leave your body and explore around and do different things. So the first experience that I've had so far was I was laying down doing exercises and I sat out from my body, and so sort of felt or maybe it was just my arm, it was a little while ago now, but I could feel it was some body part that I felt like it lifted outside of my body. So that was the first kind of experience. The main experience that I had while I was trying to astral project was this feeling of just like, this feeling of having a feeling sort of around the top of my head, right around in the middle of my brow and my throat, in sort of the middle of my chest, and then down at a few points through the base of my torso. And it really felt like these were sort of centers of feeling. And I had heard about chakras and things like this before, but this was the first time that I had really felt them. So that was sort of, having that experience really made me sort of invested in really wanting to learn how to astral project. Yeah, so that was sort of my first main experience. And there was one other one, another experience where I was over at a friend's house and I was taking a nap, and then as I woke up from the nap, and then I did a few sort of exercises that you can do to leave your body, and I still haven't really been able to completely leave my body yet, but my vision went from being just behind my eyes to being out on the front porch, and it felt like I was really seeing it. And it was different from, imagining being on the porch. It still felt sort of ethereal, but it felt like it was really my vision out on the porch. And, ooh, that's nice. It was quiet there for a moment. So vision was out on the porch, and there was like a sort of freaky being that was kind of wandering around. And it was kind of like, sort of looked, I don't know how to describe it, but it was freaky. It was outside, and then I saw this sort of like spirit cat thing, and the person had cats there. And then that evening, the friend who I was talking about told me about sort of some experiences they had as a kid around there that were sort of freaky, spiritual experiences. So then connecting that to this sort of creepy thing that was wandering around outside, was like, whoa, okay. And the other experience I had recently was just like my eyes, just opening my eyes, and so I was laying down doing exercises to astral project, and then my eyes were open and I could see the room even though my eyes were shut. And again, it was a different feeling of, wow, I'm really seeing the whole room. And so I don't really know, I'm not sure how you would describe these different experiences, but I definitely, come from a pretty skeptical background, and if you have interest in spiritual things, or I don't want to say spiritual things because it's pretty real. It definitely is, like, as my experiences so far, and I've had sort of like experiences when I was a kid that now I'm kind of realizing are like accidental astral projection things, where I would, like, you wake up in your bed but you can't move, that whole sort of thing, and you're seeing around your room in real time, but your eyes are closed, and they're like, maybe things in the room with you or stuff like that. So they were like freaky experiences as a kid that was like, wow, I don't know what that was. And maybe you had those experiences, and maybe you have some sort of interest in exploring this stuff. So I'm just gonna my goal with this channel is to just sort of share my experiences as I'm going along. I think for an entertainment factor. So why do I want to do this? I think mostly I want to do it when I'm doing things. I would like to think about if I would do it if I had an infinite amount of money. It's like, would I really do this if I had an infinite amount of money? And I'm not entirely sure that I would. So I might not even end up posting this. I think I have some monetary motivations for making this channel, or sharing these experiences. I'll explore that. So I've had the idea came to mind to do this. And I like recording these videos and things. And I like the idea of being able to help people out with it. Particularly I like the idea of being able to help people out with astral projection. Yeah. So I think it's kind of as like, I think I'm doing this as kind of like a marketing thing. I'm not particularly like, I'm not looking for a lot of money, but I think it appeals to be known for being able to do this. Even though I don't really know how to do this yet, but that's why I'm sort of starting to record it now with the expectation that at some point I'll be able to do this better, but it might take a bit of time. So yeah, so I think those are pretty much my honest motivations for doing this. I'm kind of thinking now about implications of doing this or making this and sharing it, and it being out and about. Because I think a lot of people aren't super open to this, or it can freak people out. But I'm definitely coming from a perspective with this where I want it to be helpful to people, and yeah, because I think my sort of my ideal life, I guess, would be to be able to live where I wanted to live, have a nice, yard, things like that, and be able to help people through doing this kind of thing. Not so much the videos as much as the action of doing some sort of like astral projection thing to help people out. It feels like something that has that that would have that capability to do with. So with all of that, yeah. So that's kind of the scoop. Yeah, at this moment, I have I can do different sort of Reiki things, and you can do Reiki over distance, which is kind of like it's sort of like an energy healing thing, which I definitely think has effects, but I don't have the same sort of confidence in it, I guess I would say, that I do in astral projection. It doesn't necessarily feel like, I haven't had as many experiences that feel as real as astral projection. But if you're interested in some distance Reiki, I would be happy to do a distance Reiki session for you if you've come across this video and you're interested in that, or if you know somebody who might be interested in it. And I do it by, my idea in the past has been that I would do it by donation. So for me, it's enjoyable to be able to do it, and I don't want that to be a barrier for anyone. So if you request a Reiki session, then I'd love to do a distance Reiki session for you. And then, if you feel benefits from it, or you feel, or you enjoyed it, or anything along those lines, then you're most welcome to make any sort of donation that works for you. And we can sort that out through email. So I don't know if I should put my email on YouTube, but yeah, how am I gonna do that? Yeah. Well, I'm still working on these things out in my mind. But if you maybe I'll probably end up making a Patreon or something like that. So I'm gonna do sort of weekly logs like this with my experiences in astral projection, but I can do Reiki right now. I imagine my sort of expectation is that in learning to do astral projection, that's gonna lead to me being able to do some sort of healing related activity for folks, but I'm not at that point where I can do that yet. So until then, this is my experience learning how to do it, and yeah. So I hope you're having a good day. Are there any other things? I hope this recording hasn't been too bad with the dripping water, and we'll see if it's too echoey being in the bathroom, because that might have happened. Yep, any other things? Yeah, if you've had, freaky dream, or like, I think they call it like the old lady sitting on your chest, that's sort of what they call that thing of like, you wake up, but you can't move. And I think that's because your consciousness, or you're aware of your consciousness being in a part of your astral body. But I don't really feel qualified to really speak on much in regards to astral projection stuff, because I haven't like verified it with my own experience as of yet. But the book, again, is by Robert Bruce, and it's called 30 Days, 90 Days to Astral Projection, or something along those lines. It's 90, and then I don't remember, but it's 90 days. So if you're interested in learning, I would definitely recommend that book. Also learning to meditate, all of that, I think that's helpful. I definitely feel like that's served me in terms of learning how to do this. Yeah. I think that's the scoop for me for now. But thanks for checking this out. If I don't really have any other experiences or anything to share, but definitely, comment if you have any thoughts or things like that. I think I'll set up a Patreon just so because I don't think you can message people directly through YouTube. So I'm gonna set that up because I kind of want like a third party thing that people can at least message me through. So I'll see if, you know what I'm talking about? You kind of want that third party thing. So, oh yeah, so if you know of any third party messaging apps or something like that where people can either request a Reiki session or something like that, yeah, I would be happy to do those. So while this is uploading, I'll see if there's something that works for that, and I'll put it in the comments below, or I'll put it in the description of the video. And I think that's about it. I'll see if if this audio quality isn't unbearable, then I'm probably gonna maybe do it from the toilet, because I don't really have a better place to record from. Unless I do it, maybe I'll start doing this on Sundays, because there's no construction outside, or usually there's not construction. So we'll start out in the room out there, do this on Sundays. I'll probably aim to do like a weekly update on my astral experiences, and I think this will be kind of a motivator for me to learn, to like do it and sort of not half-ass my learning, but my learning of it. So I have interesting things to share about all of that. So that's the scoop for now. Now I'm thinking about what I'm gonna title this video. I think I'm gonna title it Reiki in the toilet. No, I don't want to make it sound like Reiki's a bad thing. I don't know. Anyways, that's the scoop for now, and we'll catch y'all around. Bye.